This video has been made possible by RSH E-Sport Company. Check more about it in the description below. What's up guys, it's me Janne here, back again for another video, and in today's video we will be taking a look at the new stage Helfštýn that is about to come to Rally Sim Fans plugin very shortly. Originally made in BTB format by David Radil and converted into original format by Jan Kaderabek. And Jan has asked me to do this public service announcement that if you want your name to appear on the stage itself, you can send a €10 donation to Jan Kaderabek through the link in the description through PayPal, or if you want to have a banner spot on that stage, you can do that for €99. All that money goes directly to Jan Kaderabek, doesn't go to Rally Sim Fans plugin, doesn't go to me, only to Jan Kaderabek. If you want to support the great Richard Benz Rally Track Builder, you can do it through the link in the description. But now, without further ado, let's hop on to the start line and see what all the fuss is about on the stage. Here we are at the start line in the beautiful Escort Mark II. And yeah, the livery will be linked in the description as well, among very many other links as well. Well, not too many. But yeah, Helfštýn. 14-kilometer stage located in Czech Republic, very nice, and it began its life as a BTB stage made by David Radil, and I hope that I pronounced it at least somewhat right, and if I didn't, I'm very sorry. Yeah, he made the BTB version, but it was quite heavy from what I've heard and didn't run that well, so it wasn't really considered for the Rally Sim Fans plugin. But then came the Blender Exporter plugin, and then came Jan Kaderabek, who wanted to test kinda what the what the Blender Exporter plugin can do and manage. So he took the stage and gave it some Jan magic, and that's what we're experiencing now. This is the original format version of upcoming special stage Helfštýn. And yeah, what Jan did was take the BTB project and he did improve it quite a damn bit. I'll show you some screenshots after my run as well, to let you guys see like the visual changes and all that. But yeah, as this is a Blender Exporter plugin made stage or exported stage, there's a lot of that fancy stuff provided by it. There's those break walls, for example. You can't drive too far off from the stage, you will be slowed down just like in the original stages. And there's plenty of fine texture work being redone here, some shading being done by Jan, same kind of stuff that was happening on Biskupich. So yeah, it's very nice. And a lot of more objects were added, some spectators and marshals and whatnot. So yeah, a lot. And sorry, I got to focus a bit. This is a very tricky section, especially in the Escort, with the suspension isn't the most advanced one. But yeah, exported with the Blender Exporter plugin and original format, so it supports all weathers and surfaces like wet and dry and damp. And there's movable objects and whatnot. And as it is exported with the Blender Exporter plugin, we've got fancy helicopter views in the replay as well. And I think this is the first stage of those modded ones to feature the helicopter in it. So at least Jill Panizzi will be very happy to have helicopter here. And yeah, Jan told me that he isn't like fully happy with the end result, but it was never intended to be like a similarly complete product like, for example, Biskupich was. It was more as a test to see what's possible and all that. And you can still see at some places the BTB-ness of the stage. There are some things slightly floating and all that. But I think it would have been too much work for very, very little in return. And you really can't see them if you're driving fast enough. And well, I've noticed them, so I think it says quite a bit about my driving. Yeah, I like the stage itself. It has got a very nice layout. It has like I've said before on other vids and streams and whatnot, I like stages where the rhythm changes, the flow changes on the stage, and on this one it's very, very true, as we begin in the very fast, wide, flat roads, and then we go to the first bumpier stuff with the darker tarmac. That is very, very different and very bumpy. And then we go back again for some flatter for a bit, and now we are here on this bumpier stuff once again, but not as bumpy as on the darker tarmac. But here we have woods lining up the road quite nicely, and here we have some fine examples of the shading that is being done by the plugin as well. You can see now how the light is reflected on my car as well here, and that is thanks to the Blender plugin and Janne's work once again. There's a fancy word to say all that, but I'm not a man of fancy words, so I don't know. Oh, I can't remember what the word is, and also I'm trying to survive. But yeah, I like the stage from a driver's point of view. Very challenging one. Braveness is rewarded, and it's a high risk, high reward stage. And yeah, love it. Absolutely love it from a driver's point of view. Not much really to complain about it. And there are some new notes for this original format version as well, but yeah, I did my own because I'm very specific about the type of notes that I require. But the few runs that I did with the default notes, they were very good as well. I think on the top end of the default notes that are out there, and somehow we made it through. And this is now the finish, and this has been apparently improved as well according to Janne. So yeah, can't imagine what it was before. But now we have finished, and now we can take a look at all the screenshots comparing the BTP version and the original and all other stuff as well. And that is the stage. Very, very, very nice stage to run, even with my limited skill set and the limited suspension of the Escort Mark II. But I'm very much looking forward to having this stage in the Rally Sim Fans plugin and being able to compete all of you in the stage, and hopefully we won't crash in the same corner. If you do bring some sausages, we have Rally Macaranoda there. And yeah, like I promised during the run, there will be some screenshots about the BTB stage and the original format conversion side by side, so you can see what sort of a change we are talking about, because it's a lot easier to visualize, yeah, that's how it is, visualize through seeing the pictures instead of me trying to form somewhat coherent sentences while I'm driving. So yeah, let's have a look at those. So here are the pictures now, and here we can see the first one. Here we are in the forest. I can't remember at what point of the stage, but you can see the left one is the BTB version and the right one is the original format version. You can see this road looks a lot smoother, the textures are nicer, all that. And you can also see the dynamic lighting in the car as well. The car on the right is a lot darker accordingly to the shadows and whatnot. And take a look at the frames per second as well. 42 in the BTP version and 144 in the original format version. Next up we have this junction very close to the Finnish. The colors look quite oversaturated in the original BTP version, but looks very, very good and natural in the original format conversion. Added quite a bit of spectators there. The trees have been reworked to some extent, and the bale has been added, and all these massive things called bales added to this are movable as far as I know. So if you crash into them, it's not just going to be a concrete collision like on a BTB stage, but it will move and you will get some amusement out of the bale rolling along, at least when you retire. And then we have a next picture here on, I can recognize this place actually. It's in the forest. Yeah, no shit. But yeah, it's in the forest, and it's very tricky, quite a deceptive, hard to see left-hander junction coming up. And again, the shading you can see, especially from on the road surface, you can see the shading very, very well in work, and you can see light coming from the right hand side, and yeah, looks very, very amazing. And we have the next point there at the second split of the stage, and yeah, again, look at the frames per second, and it's been constant throughout, from 40-ish frames per second to 144, and I think Jan is running VSync in these pictures, so probably could be even higher. Added those detectors for the split, and also those split plates, Marshall, a lot of the contrast here and lighting, shading, all of that has been reworked, road surface reworked. Very, very nice looking altogether. Then we move to another place. This looks quite a bit better in my opinion as well, especially look directly to the far terrain where there's, well, you can't really even pull it apart or see it apart from the trees into the far bump ahead, like some field or something, but you can see it here on the right on Jan's picture. You can clearly make out the trees and the far terrain from each other, and things get less visible when they get further from you. And obviously some BTB remainings still visible on the right hand side on both kind of the world's end there, but you won't notice it when you're driving fast, or then you can because I pointed it out. I don't know, not my fault. Sorry, not sorry. Again, a lot of more better looking stuff on the right hand side. I mean, it's not, I'm not trying to talk shit about David Radiel here in any way, no, not at all. I'm just trying to point out the advancements that the Blender Exporter plugin allows. But yeah, here again, fancy shading, newer textures at most points, and a lot more natural contrast. Here we are on wait, what spot is this? Oh yeah, it's almost in the beginning with the first tighter corner coming up, first braking spot coming up. Yeah, you can also see on the left hand side how much more natural the shapes are. There isn't so sharp shapes on the ditches and whatnot, but instead a smoother shape. Also kind of I don't know what's the word, but it kind of smoothens out thanks to the textures as well. So it looks very, very good. And here as well you can see it's like two different games really. One is from quite a bit further away, and one is the current RBR we love and adore so much. And now I'll show you some Blender project screenshots as well, or I don't know what's this called, but Jan shared this to me and said that it's okay to show, so I'll show this to you while I read the changelog that Jan provided me. So changes from the original BTB stage include: road has been smoothed, added detail in cuts, multiple tarmac physics materials, so I'm guessing the original had only one tarmac physics material, added skid marks and inside corners darkening, added baked lighting, and dynamic car shading. I think that's the stuff I was talking about when the car does change also its lighting in the shadow areas, and I wonder if baked lighting is lighting up a joint or something. No, I think there's fancy meaning to that, but I love a good weed joke. Added spectators and their collisions, in other words, red screens, and then there's tapes, cars, city signs, etc. Fixed static collisions, guardrails and walls and whatnot. And he also added objects with dynamic collision and proper weight, like hay bales and barriers, like I mentioned before. If you crash into a hay bale, it will probably amusingly roll away from it, depending on how fast you go, and you'll get at least some amusement out of your retirement. And he also fixed skewed, disconnected and floating models at most parts where it's most noticeable, but like I said, it's still a bit visible in some places if you're driving slow enough and you really pay attention to it. Improved finish area, added replay, and as you know, BTB stages don't have replay cameras, and the very first community stage with a helicopter shot as well. Texture tweaks, AI upscale of some textures and some replaced in far scenery, and toning and contrast adjustment, which was very well visible in the screenshots that I showed just before. The dynamic render distance for better performance and visuals, so in those forest areas the game doesn't render so much stuff in the distance, causing unnecessary stress for your computer. Again, top work. Dry, damp, wet support and appropriate texture variants for all those three surfaces. Multiple weather support. I haven't tested them yet, but I have no doubt about that. They will be amazing. Soft break walls to prevent from leaving the stage. That's another Blender exporter plugin feature. So similarly, like in some original stages, you can't go really far off from the road because you got those break walls, and that is good. So in my opinion, because with those you can prevent people falling off from the road, for example, unlike in some other somewhat recent stages that are not so good. And new default pace notes, like I said before, I've made my own and I can share them whenever the stage gets released, but they are already, in my opinion, on the top end of the spectrum when it comes to default pace notes, but they were just not cutting it for me because I personally like my pace notes very specific style, so I remade them, and I can share mine when it gets done. And yeah, it is the very first stage made using the new Blender exporter plugin add-on, and it was, like I said before, it was the whole purpose of the whole project. Test it out properly, report bugs and whatnot, and feedback to Tom. And now my beautiful face is back on the screen. Continue your bonus. Like I said before, you can donate to the project if you want in the description link, and we will be getting this to the Rally Sim Fans plugin in, I've been told, somewhere during Christmas holiday, so very much looking forward to that. And yeah, that is all for now. Thank you guys ever so much for watching. I'll see you again, and thanks Jan for allowing me to do this video, giving me all the necessary stuff and info and all that. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you again, I don't know when. Have an awesome holidays the rest of the year. Thanks for watching. Bye.